Okay, well, um, almost all of you have been able to create your first podcast in audioboom. I know that some of you had some difficulties because um, the the features, the buttons were not very clear, but most of you managed to do it, so congratulations. And now what I want to add is another feature of audioboom. Okay, imagine that you're working with your students' podcasts. The next step would be to create a playlist. In this case, I created a playlist called I Love 2017. Okay, so you start adding to that playlist the podcast created by your students. Okay, for example, I have a list here, and let's see, for example, Gavi's. It will take me to Gavi's page. I then copy the URL and then go to playlist. Okay, the system is a little bit slow. Okay, so you can see here on your screen that I have Migna's podcast added to my playlist. And so in this way, my playlist would have all your podcasts. This helps me control and download and easily find all my students' work. Well, the same I would do with my students in high school. I would create a playlist and find all their recordings through a playlist in my phone and to listen to their projects anywhere, anytime. And this is the beauty of podcasting, the flexibility it gives the user to the ubiquity. That means using it anytime, anywhere, and mobility. Using your cell phone, as some of you did, to create a podcast. Okay, and so here where you check your playlist, you will find the people you have added to your to the list. So far, I have added 3 of you, but I thought it was this is an important thing to mention about audioboom. To if you decide to use it with your students later on. And now, in your podcasts, um, Nia's mentioned something about how to use podcasts with your students. There is not an easy answer for this because it really depends on the level of proficiency, on how independent your students are. But there are certainly very creative activities that you can implement with them for lower level learners. And I think, in my opinion, for the challenge is really with low-level learners because you cannot, they cannot benefit from all the wide variety of existing podcasts. Some of them would be too difficult, too complex for them to understand. However, advanced learners can expand and their vocabulary and their knowledge and have a different focus on language learning through content using podcasts. That's what we do, especially with our first certificate students, the ones who are preparing for the examination, the campus examination at Prepa, and for the students at C1 level, the more advanced students who are learning a specialized vocabulary in the area of sciences. We have them listen to conferences and talks by scientists from around the world. So, as you can see, there is not like the right way to use podcasts. It really all depends on your context and your creativity. But I'm sure this looks like um, a group that will provide lots of answers and maybe questions. That's great. Questions to discuss through the forum in the coming weeks. Well, congratulations to all of you for having created your first podcast. Bye for now.